Now look at Numbers 33:55. Paul was a scholar. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers 33:55, Becky. The word thorn in the flesh is used in the Old Testament a number of times, never in reference to a disease, always in reference to a group of people. And 33:55 says, if you will, gives us God's instructions, if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land before you. Who are we talking about? The people living in the land. Then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain shall be pricks in your eyes, thorns in your side, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. It's a very similar expression that Paul picked up and used in 2 Corinthians because he was a scholar. He knew this. He said, you got to get, these were Canaanites. You got to get rid of the Canaanites because if you don't, they're going to be pricks in your eyes. In other words, this is going to be an aggravation or annoyance. Thorns in your side. Anytime you've had something in your eye, misery sets in. Now, Wayne was working one day, and he was working on some piece of equipment that spun off of the wheel into his eye, twisted his glasses. He had his glasses on, and he came in blinded in that eye, and we took him immediately to our eye doctor, who sent us immediately to a specialist, and they worked on his eye, and they sent him home to keep his head perfectly rigid for a couple weeks. And Wayne Combee is part smart aleck. And he said to the eye doctor, oh, well, that won't eliminate mowing. You know, you can keep your head straight and mow. That was his theory. And the eye doctor said, I will hospitalize you. Well, I said, Wayne, why didn't you have on your safety glasses? At our house, I represent OSHA. Because Wayne is not cautious. So he got over that. Just on the other side of the equipment he was working on was his safety glasses, twisted and mangled. Oh. He did have them on. Had he not had it on. Now he brought his glasses in and they were all twisted. But he just assumed he didn't have his safety glasses on, but he did, see? And if you want to be twisted and mangled, just believe what religion says that contradicts the Bible and you're in trouble. Your brain will total out. Now, this is also in somewhere else. Let me see. I don't know where it is in somewhere else. Joshua 23:13. Same thing. Know for certainty. So this is certain, this is sure, this is absolute. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of the nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, scourges in your side, thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. He had dictated certain peoples were to be eliminated in the promised land. He said, if you don't do that, this will be like having scourges in your side, thorns in your eyes. That's the same thing that Paul gave reference to. It's also in Judges 2:3. Look over there. Do you think Paul knew this? Of course he knew this. He was a Bible scholar. Joshua, Judges. Two, 3. Is that what I said? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. Do you see it was a very common expression that Paul, as a Bible scholar, as an Old Testament scholar, would have known. And when he said over here, that Paul said these would be like thorns in the flesh, he's just going with an expression that they would have known and heard and understood if they were temple people. Well, when's the last time you wanted something in your eye? Never? Like never? It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing, amazing, amazing. See, when we know the truth, what happens to us? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now let me tell you about Paul. He knew the truth. Who said that Jesus had spoiled or robbed or stripped or defeated principalities and powers? Paul said.